Welcome to the Exponential English Podcast. This is a place to slow down, to breathe, and to learn English naturally. Here we use simple words, clear sentences, and real ideas. You do not need to understand everything, just relax and listen. You can listen while walking, while cooking, or while resting. Every episode is designed to help you think in English. Not fast, not stressful, just step by step. This is your time, your practice, your growth. Let's begin. Let me tell you a simple story. It is about a man named Sam. Sam is a farmer. He lives in a small village far from big cities, far from loud streets, and far from busy crowds. In Sam's village, life is quiet. You can hear birds in the morning. You can hear the wind in the trees. You can hear dogs barking far away. And every day you can see the fields. Green fields, brown fields, wet fields, dry fields, fields that feed people. Sam loves this life. Not because it is easy, but because it is real. Sam believes in two big things: hard work and patience. He also believes in faith. For Sam, faith is not just a word. Faith is how he stands up again after a hard day. Faith is how he keeps going when he feels tired. Faith is how he stays calm when life feels uncertain. Every morning, Sam wakes up early, before the sun is strong, before the air becomes hot. He washes his face, he drinks a little water, he says a quiet prayer, and then he walks outside. He looks at the sky, he looks at his land, he looks at the plants, and he starts working. Some days are good. The soil feels soft, the leaves look fresh, the air smells clean, and Sam smiles without thinking. But some days are not good. Some days the sky is empty, no clouds, no rain, only heat, only dry wind, only silence. One year the rain starts coming late. At first it is only a small problem. Sam tells himself, "It's okay, rain will come soon." He keeps planting, he keeps pulling weeds, he keeps carrying water, he keeps checking the soil with his hands. But then the days pass. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and still no rain. The soil becomes hard. It cracks like broken pottery. The plants begin to bend. The leaves lose their color. Green becomes pale. Pale becomes yellow. Yellow becomes brown. Sam stands in his field and he feels a heavy weight in his chest. Because Sam is not only farming for himself, he is farming for his wife. He is farming for his children. He is farming for the food on their table, for school supplies, for medicine, for next month's bills. And when the crops are weak, the fear becomes loud. At night, Sam lies down to sleep. His body is tired, his hands ache, his back hurts, but his mind is still awake. He thinks, what if this year fails? He thinks, what if I cannot sell anything? He thinks, what will my children eat? He thinks, what will my wife say, even if she tries to be strong? And in the dark, fear can grow. Fear can become a monster. Fear can whisper terrible things. But Sam does something different. Sam chooses hope. Not because he is never scared. He is scared, but he refuses to live inside that fear. He sits up in bed, he takes a slow breath, and he says softly, "I will do what I can do today." Then he closes his eyes, and he sleeps with hope. The next morning, Sam wakes up and works again. He carries buckets of water, he walks back and forth, back and forth. He makes small channels in the soil so water can reach the roots. He fixes broken tools, he repairs a fence. He checks each row of plants like a doctor checking patients. And while he works, he talks to himself. He says one step at a time. He says, do not quit today. He says, if I give up now, I lose everything. In the village, other farmers also struggle. Sam is not alone. At the market, Sam hears their voices. One man says, this year is finished. Another says, I will stop planting. It's useless. Another says, I am tired. I can't do this anymore. They look at Sam and ask, Sam, why do you keep working? They say, do you not see the sky? Do you not see the dry ground? Sam looks at them calmly. He wipes sweat from his forehead, and he says, I see it. I see all of it. Then he says, but I also see tomorrow. He says, if rain comes, even late, the land can still live. He says, if we stop now, we give up before the answer arrives. Some farmers shake their heads, some laugh, some walk away, but a few listen. A few stay quiet. A few feel something small inside them, like a candle. And that candle is hope. Then comes the hardest part. A very dry year, the kind of year people remember for a long time. The sun feels sharper, the wind feels hotter, even the nights feel warm, like the heat never leaves. One afternoon, Sam walks through his field and sees a plant that has fallen over, not bending, fallen. He kneels down, he touches the leaves. They feel thin and tired. Sam feels a sting in his eyes. Because this is not just a plant. This is his work. This is his time. This is his family's future. For a moment, Sam wants to break. For a moment, he wants to sit down and say, I can't. For a moment, he wants to let fear win. But then Sam remembers something. He remembers his father's words. His father was also a farmer. His father's hands were rough. His father's face was weathered by sun and wind. And his father once said, a farmer must be strong in two places. He said, strong in the body. He said, and strong in the heart. Sam stands up. He looks at the field again, and he says, I will be strong in my heart. That evening, Sam prays longer than usual, not with fancy words, not with big speeches, just honest words. He says, please give rain. He says, please protect my family. He says, please give me strength to keep going. And after he prays, he does not just wait. He prepares. He cleans the storage room. He checks his seeds. He fixes the cart he uses to carry crops. He organizes his tools. Because Sam believes something important. Hope is not sitting and doing nothing. Hope is working while you wait. Hope is moving forward even when you cannot see the end. Days pass. And then something changes. One morning, Sam wakes up and feels the air. It feels different. Not colder, just different. He steps outside and looks at the sky. The sky is not bright blue, it is a softer color. He sees clouds. Real clouds. Slow clouds, thick clouds. Sam does not speak. He just watches. A few minutes later, the wind moves. Then Sam hears it. A sound he has missed. A small tap. 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 A drop lands on his arm, then another, then another. Sam looks down. Water. Rain. At first it is light, like the sky is testing the ground. Then it grows stronger. The sound becomes louder. Rain hits the roof. Rain hits the soil. Rain hits the leaves. Sam stands there and he lets the rain touch his face. He closes his eyes. He breathes in. He smiles. And he laughs, a quiet laugh that turns into a bigger laugh. He lifts his hands and says, "Thank you." Not because the problem is finished in 1 second, but because life has returned. Because the field is not dead. Because his effort was not wasted. Sam runs into the field. The soil begins to drink the water. The plants look like they're waking up. The leaves lift a little. The field does not become perfect right away, but it begins to change, and Sam's heart changes too. That day, other farmers come outside and look at the rain. Some of them cry. Some of them shout. Some of them simply stand still like they do not believe it. Sam walks to a neighbor and says, "Do you hear that sound?" The neighbor nods and says, "Yes." Sam says, "This is why we do not quit too early." Weeks later, the land looks better. Not everywhere. Not every plant survives, but enough survives. Enough grows. Enough becomes strong again. Sam continues to work. He pulls weeds. He checks the soil. He protects the plants from insects. He wakes up early. He sleeps late. And slowly the season turns. Then comes harvest time. In the morning, the field looks golden. The sun shines on the crops and they glow. When the wind moves, the field moves like waves. Sam stands at the edge of his land and feels proud. Not proud like a king, proud like a worker, proud like someone who did not give up. Sam and his family harvest together. They cut the crops. They gather them into bundles. They load them onto a cart. They work until their arms are tired. And at the end of the day, they sit together and eat a simple meal. Rice, vegetables, a little soup, nothing fancy, but their hearts feel full. Because they earned this food. Because they stayed together through the hard days. When it is time to sell, Sam goes to the market. The market is busy. People shout prices. People carry baskets. People laugh. People argue. People buy food for their families. Sam arrives with his crops. He stands straight. He speaks politely. He smiles. Buyers look at his crops and nod. One buyer says, "These are good." Another says, "Very good." A man who sells many things in the market says, "Sam, you did well this year." Sam feels relief inside. Then he sells his harvest. He earns good money. Not millions. Not a fortune. But enough. Enough to pay what he needs to pay. Enough to buy what his family needs. Enough to breathe again. And something else happens. People respect him. They say, "Sam does not complain." They say, "Sam works hard." They say, "Sam stays steady." But Sam does not become arrogant. He does not walk around like he is better than others. He does not say, "Look at me." He goes home. He thanks God. He thanks his wife for her support. He thanks his children for helping. He says, "We did this together." After the harvest, some farmers come to Sam. They ask, "How did you keep going?" They ask, "How did you not quit?" They ask, "How did you not lose your mind in that dry year?" Sam sits with them under a tree. He speaks slowly. He says, "I had fear too." He says, "I worried too." He says, "Some nights I could not sleep." Then he says, "But every morning I chose one thing." He says, "I chose hope." He says, I chose to do the next right action. He says, even a small action. He says, even when I felt weak. He looks at them and says, if you quit too early, you never see what could happen. He says, if you stay patient, life can change. He says, hard work never fails. He says, patience always wins. He says, hope keeps us alive. The farmers listen. Some nod, some look down and think. Some feel ashamed, but in a gentle way, not a painful way. Sam does not judge them. He understands. Hard times are heavy, but Sam wants them to remember something. A hard season is not the end of the story. Back at home, Sam also teaches his children, not with long lectures, with small moments, with daily life. One day, his son comes home and says, Dad, my friend cheated on a test. Sam looks at his son and says, do you think that is right? His son says, no. Sam says, then do not do it. He says, be honest when it is easy. He says, be honest when it is hard. Another day, his daughter gets angry because something takes too long. She says, why can't it happen now? Sam smiles and says, look at the field. He says, do crops grow in one day? She says, no. Sam says, good things take time. He says, patience is strength. He says, when you wait with purpose, you become stronger. He also teaches them respect. He says, respect your mother. He says, respect your elders. He says, respect your teachers. He says, respect people who work. He says, and respect yourself. And he teaches them to work, not to become slaves, not to suffer, but to build pride. He says, when you work, you learn. He says, when you work, you grow. He says, when you work, you become someone you can trust. Sometimes his children ask, Dad, are we rich? Sam pauses and looks around. He looks at the small house. He looks at the simple furniture. He looks at the plates and cups. He looks at the worn tools near the door. Then he looks at his wife. He looks at his children, and he smiles. He says, we are not rich with money. He says, but we are rich in the ways that matter. He says, we have food. He says, we have love. He says, we have each other. He says, a rich heart is better than a full wallet. Sam believes his life has meaning, not because people clap for him, not because he is famous, but because his work feeds people, because his crops become meals in many homes, because he wakes up each day and creates something real. And that makes him proud. Sam often says one simple sentence. He says, a simple life is enough. He does not mean you should have no dreams. He does not mean you should stay small forever. He means this. If you have peace, you are already wealthy. If you have people who love you, you are already wealthy. If you can do honest work and sleep at night, you are already wealthy. Now I want to speak to you. Maybe you're not a farmer. Maybe you live in a city. Maybe you work in an office. Maybe you study at school. Maybe you are learning English right now and you feel tired. Maybe you feel slow. Maybe you feel shy. Maybe you feel like you are not improving. Maybe you are working hard, but you do not see results yet. If that is you, remember Sam. Remember the dry year. Remember the cracked soil. Remember the weak plants. Remember the fear at night. And remember what Sam did. He did not quit too early. He worked while he waited. He prayed and he prepared. He chose hope over fear. And when the rain came, his work mattered. So here is Sam's message for you. Do not quit too early. Do not stop on a hard day. Do not judge your whole future by one difficult week. Keep going. Keep learning. Keep practicing. Even if it is small. Even if it is slow. A small step every day can change your life. Say this with me slowly. Hard work never fails. Patience always wins. Hope keeps us alive. Again, hard work never fails. Patience always wins. Hope keeps us alive. And one more time. Hard work never fails. Patience always wins. Hope keeps us alive. Today, choose hope. Today, do the next right action. Today, take one small step. And tomorrow, take another one. Because your rain will come. Maybe not today. Maybe not next week. But if you keep going, you give your life a chance to change. And that chance is everything. Before you go, remember this. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. Learning English is the same. Some days are easy. Some days are slow. Some days feel frustrating. That is normal. What matters is that you show up. You listen. You repeat. You try again. If you stay consistent, your English will grow. Slowly, naturally. This is exponential English. Small steps, every day. Big change over time. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take a breath, drink some water, and when you are ready, keep learning.